Imagine this. A clan once feared across Japan, ruling Kyoto with unmatched power, suddenly swept away by betrayal and war. Their names were whispered, their deeds forgotten. Until now. What if I told you that the story of the Terawan of Japan's greatest clans holds secrets of courage, honor, and choices that could still inspire us today? Tonight, we journey through history, uncovering truths hidden for centuries, exploring the rise, the fall, and the enduring legacy of the hike, and trust me, the story you're about to hear will stay with you long after the last word. Stay with me because what happened next is both shocking and unforgettable. The wind tore across the coastline like a vengeful spirit. Waves crashed against the hull of the fleeing ships, spraying salt into the cold night air. Somewhere, a scream cut through the storm sharp, desperate, almost swallowed by the thunder. Imagine this. Dozens of samurai, drenched, armor heavy and slick with rain, clutching swords that felt heavier than ever before. Their eyes searched the horizon, but there was nothing but shadows and mist, hiding dangers no one could name. And yet they sailed onward. Why? Because turning back was unthinkable. Lord Taira. "We're losing them," muttered a young warrior, voice shaking. "The Minamatu, he swallowed. "They'll hunt us to the edge of the world." "Do not speak like a child," came the quiet, hard reply. "We fight with honor, even in death." But even as he spoke, doubt gnawed at him. Honor, death, he didn't know which would claim them first. This was the Genpei War's cruel finale, a storm not just of weather, but of fate. The Taira clan, once rulers of Kyoto, are now scattered across Japan's rugged coastlines, hunted, betrayed, and desperate. Legend said their spirits would never rest. Perhaps that night, as the thunder rolled and lightning struck the cliffs, the first whispers began. A locked box, a family secret, a hidden betrayal. He didn't know it yet, but some truths, once unearthed, could not be buried. The coast of Shikoku disappeared into the mist. Fires burned inland, smoke curling like ghosts into the dark sky. He remembered the village they had left behind, women screaming, children crying, and the castle gates burned to splinters. His throat tightened. They had survived barely, but at what cost? And then he noticed it, a shadow on the horizon. Not a ship, not a cloud, something else. Something that moved with intention. A flicker, a ghost, or a man. He couldn't tell. The storm hid all clarity. "Do you see it?" he whispered. The elder samurai nodded, eyes narrowing. "It watches us, waiting." History would remember this night differently. But for those on the water, it was more than history. It was terror. For centuries, people would whisper about the Taira warriors who fled to the sea, disappearing into storms. Some said they drowned. Others said the ghosts of the fallen still walked Japan's forests and mountains, seeking revenge, or perhaps redemption. Even now, standing on the deck, he wondered, were these stories born from truth or from the imagination of those who had survived to tell them? The ship shuddered. Lightning split the sky. Somewhere a young boy cried out, but the sound was swallowed by the storm. And in that instant, he realized survival meant leaving pieces of your soul behind. Pieces that the sea and history would keep forever. The wind whispered secrets. Or maybe that was just his mind unraveling. Either way, he clutched his sword tighter. And somewhere deep down, he knew the story was just beginning. The fires of Kyoto were long gone, but their smoke lingered in memory. Ash floated on the wind like tiny ghosts, settling on rooftops, riverbanks, and the faces of survivors. Among them, the Taira remnants moved silently, wary of every sound, the snap of a branch, the cry of a distant bird, the whisper of a shadow in the fog. Somewhere deep in the mountains, a priest muttered prayers no one could hear. They said the Taira had been cursed, that their fall had angered forces older than men. Some dismissed it as superstition, others knew better. "Do you think the stories are true?" asked a boy, no older than 14, his voice trembling as he clutched a tattered kimono around him. "Stories?" The elder samurai replied, eyes scanning the mist-shrouded trees. "Perhaps. Or perhaps truths too terrible to speak aloud." A chill crept along his spine. He had seen men vanish into the mist before, not drowned, not dead, simply gone. And when they returned, they were different. Eyes hollow, voices distant, as if some unseen hand had pulled pieces of their souls away. The villages whispered of the Hike no Yurei, the ghosts of the Taira. Mothers warned children not to wander at night. Hunters swore they saw phantom banners floating in the moonlight. Soldiers returning from patrols spoke of cold hands on their shoulders, of swords unsheathed in empty rooms, of shadows moving against the wind. It was said that the Taira carried a secret with them, a chest of scrolls, letters, and treasures. Some believed it held the key to their honor, the names of betrayers, or the truth of their sudden fall, but it was never found. Or maybe it was hidden so well that even the dead could not reveal it. He remembered one night on the river, fog rolling over the water like soft silk. The young boy had screamed, pointing at something gliding just above the waves. It vanished before he could see it clearly. "You saw nothing," the elder had whispered. "Nothing at all. Only the wind." But he knew better. There were things that could not be explained. Secrets that would wait for centuries to be uncovered. And some, he feared, might never be uncovered at all. A memory surfaced: Kyoto, the castle halls, the clash of swords, and the cries of women and children. He had failed. His hands still shook when he thought of them. Every night, he saw the faces of those lost in flames. Every day he carried their ghosts with him, and yet, there was a strange beauty in the ruin. Cherry blossoms still fell in spring, pink against the gray of the mountains. Birds sang over burnt villages. Life continued, stubborn and unyielding. Perhaps that was the curse and the lesson. That even when history tried to erase them, the Taira would linger. Their names whispered in the wind, their deeds etched in the soil. Night fell, heavy and slow. The survivors huddled in a hollow, sharing stories by a small fire. One spoke of a battle long ago, when a Taira general had struck down his enemies with a courage unmatched, yet had vanished the next day without a trace. Another whispered of a hidden scroll buried beneath the roots of an ancient pine, containing a truth that could shake Japan itself. He listened, hearts beating in unison with the crackle of the fire. He realized the past never truly dies. And the Taira, though fallen, would not rest. Somewhere a crow cawed. It sounded like laughter, or perhaps a warning. The wind carried it across the valleys, stirring the mist into ghostly shapes. "Stay close," the elder said softly. "The shadows remember, and they will not forgive." And with that, the night closed in, thick and suffocating, hiding secrets and whispers that would echo for centuries. Fog clung to the mountains like a living thing. Every step the survivors took was swallowed by it. The forest seemed endless, yet every rustle and snap of a branch made them feel watched. He paused by a river, staring at the reflection in the dark water. Moonlight glinted on the ripples, almost like silver threads guiding him. His hand trembled. He wasn't sure if it was the cold or something deeper, a presence he could not see, yet felt pressing against him. "Do you ever wonder," the boy asked softly, "if the Taira really died?" The question hung in the air. He wanted to say no. He wanted to convince himself. But deep down, he knew the truth was stranger. Some had vanished into the mountains, some into the sea. And the rest? The rest lingered in stories, in whispers, in shadows. A sudden movement caught his eye. A figure, barely visible through the mist. A woman cloaked in black, kneeling by the roots of an ancient tree. In her hands was a scroll, weathered and fragile. The fire from her small lantern danced across her face, revealing eyes that seemed too old, too knowing. He approached cautiously. Who are you?" She looked up slowly. "I am a keeper of what was lost," she said, voice soft but unyielding. The Taira left more than blood and fire. They left truths the world was not ready for. The scroll trembled in her hands. "This contains names, betrayers, secrets of the Genpei War that even history dared not write. And the warning for those who would forget." He swallowed hard. Every instinct screamed to step back, to run. But curiosity, that dangerous and irresistible force, pulled him closer. He reached out, and for a moment, time seemed to freeze. A memory flashed: Kyoto, the screams, the castle ablaze. His own hands trembling, failing to save a comrade. Shame, regret, and now, this scroll. Perhaps it held a chance to redeem what had been lost. The woman's eyes softened. The Taira's story is more than defeat. It is courage, honor, and the cost of betrayal. Those who remember carry it forward. and those who forget are doomed to repeat it. He nodded, though he barely understood the weight of her words. The forest seemed to lean closer, listening. The river whispered. The mist swirled. Shadows danced as if alive. Hours passed, or was it days? Time had lost meaning. And then, finally, he understood. The curse wasn't just about death. It was a memory. The Tyra lived on in those who remembered them, in the secrets they left behind, and in the lessons carved into blood and ash. A soft wind carried the sound of a bell from a distant shrine. It rang once, twice, 3 times. And in that sound, he felt a strange peace. Perhaps the ghosts were not angry. Perhaps they had been waiting for someone to understand. He unrolled the scroll carefully. Names, dates, places, the betrayals, the heroics, and beneath it all, a map. Not of gold or treasure, but of knowledge, of truth. A path leading through mountains, rivers, and ruins, back to the heart of the Tyra legacy. A crow cawed overhead, breaking the silence. He looked up and laughed softly, a little nervously. So, this is it then? The story... all of it. The boy stepped closer. Do we follow it? He hesitated. And then, with a steadying breath, he nodded. We follow it. We honor them. And maybe, just maybe, we can finally lay the ghosts to rest. And as they moved forward, the fog began to lift, revealing mountains bathed in moonlight, rivers glittering like silver ribbons, and a path carved by history itself. For the first time in years, he felt a fragile hope. Perhaps the Tyra story would not be one of defeat alone. Perhaps it would endure etched into the land, the people, and the hearts of those who dared to remember. Because some legends, no matter how lost, always echo across time. The mountains stretched endlessly, bathed in the pale light of dawn. Mist curled along the riverbanks, soft and silent, but it no longer carried fear, only the weight of history. He knelt beside the scroll, now fully unrolled, tracing names with a trembling finger. Names of warriors, of strategists, of men who had fought with courage and failed. Names of betrayal, yes, but also of loyalty, sacrifice, and resilience. This is more than a list, the boy whispered, awe in his voice. It's their story. Yes, he said. It's everything they wanted remembered. The truth of who they were, what they fought for, and why it mattered. The path ahead was long, winding through forests and over rivers, but now it felt like purpose rather than burden. Every step forward was heavy with history, but lightened by understanding. The Tyra had been defeated in battle, yes, but their legacy endured in knowledge, honor, and courage. He remembered the decisions he had made, the ones that had cost lives, the promises he had broken. Regret still lingered, but now it felt tempered by clarity. There was something he could do, something that mattered. They followed the map, discovering ruins and forgotten castles. Each place told its own story of triumphs, losses, and human struggle. He realized the greatest battles were not always fought with swords, but within hearts and minds. A narrow bridge spanned a roaring river, water glinting in the early light. He paused, looking down at the currents. Every step forward, he muttered, was harder than the last. But giving up was never an option. The boy smiled. We can finish this, can't we? He nodded, finally feeling a sense of purpose settle into his bones. Yes, we finish it, not for vengeance, not for glory, but for truth. At last, they reached the final point marked on the scroll, a clearing high above the valley. Here, the Tyra had made their last stand centuries ago. Stones crumbled where banners had once flown, and the wind carried the faint echoes of decisions made long before. He stood there for a long moment, letting it all sink in. Courage, betrayal, loss, honor. History was not a clean story. It was messy, unpredictable, and human. And that was its power. He turned to the boy. History isn't about forgetting the past. It's about carrying it forward, learning from it, honoring it, and finding the strength to live better because of it. The boy nodded, eyes wide with understanding. Together, they looked out over the valley. The sun broke over the horizon, bathing the ruins in golden light. And in that light, he felt a quiet satisfaction. The Tyra story would not be lost, not completely. Not ever. It would live on in those who remembered, and in those willing to follow the path of courage, honor, and resilience. He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of centuries lift just a little. Courage isn't the absence of fear, he said softly. It's the choice to face it again and again. And with that, they began the long journey home, carrying the legacy of the hike: truth, honor, and lessons that would endure far longer than any battle, any loss, or any name forgotten by time. And so the story of the Tyra comes to an end, at least for now. A clan that faced betrayal, loss, and impossible odds, but whose courage and honor still echo through history. We've seen how choices matter, how bravery is not the absence of fear, and how the past can teach us lessons we can carry into our own lives. Remember, history isn't just dates and battles, it's the story of people, their struggles, their triumphs, and the legacies they leave behind. I'm Jimmy, and I hope this journey reminds you that even in the darkest times, bravery, resilience, and the choices we make define our legacy. History isn't just dates and battles, it's the story of people, their struggles, and the lessons they leave behind. So the next time you face a challenge, remember the hike. Stand tall, face your storm, and keep moving forward. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story. Don't forget to subscribe.